Persuasive speech. This week I chose the topic of the advantages and disadvantages of a stay-at-home mother. I chose this topic because this is something I could relate to because I have been both a stay-at-home mom and also a working mom. I have been able to see the advantages and the disadvantages in all three of my children. The advantages and disadvantages of a stay-at-home mom. An alarming number of college women are leaving the workforce to stay at home and raise their children. A trend that is a tragedy, not only for the mothers, but ultimately their children and women as a whole. Today's American family is very different from the typical ideal family that was the norm only a half a century ago. Family life in the 1950s consisted of a father who left for work very early every morning and a loyal mother who stayed at home to tend to her house and all the children. Families today come in all shapes and sizes. More and more women are putting down the garden and the cooking utensils for the hustle and bustle of the American workforce. The number of employed mothers with the children under the age of 18 were 70.1% in 1999. This was up from 66.3% in the 1990s. From 1970 to 2000, the number of mothers working for more than 50 hours a week increased from 5.2 to 11.3 compared to men, which was 21.0 to 26.5. Are working mothers better than stay-at-home mothers? The advantage of a stay-at-home mother versus one who drops her children off at daycare center and then goes off to work. Besides getting to spend more time with your children, you are also save on daycare expensive and, more important, a more nurturing environment for your child or children to grow academically. There's also emotional nourishment as a stay-at-home mother. You'll get to spend much more time with your children, which will benefit both you and them. Also, let's watch your children grow, and also let you nurture them with the attention and the affection that they need. By remaining at home with your children, you can reduce and entirely eliminate the cost associated with daycare. According to the Children's Defense Fund, the average daycare facility charges between $4,000 to $6,000 per year just for a 4-year-old child. Granted, you may still need a babysitter now and then, but such minute costs are nothing in comparison to that of a daycare. More time with your children means the more time to direct their academic growth. Without the stress of work, you'll be able to read to them, practice their ABCs, and study more often. According to a study documented by John Carville Holmes, MD, in the book Children of Working Mothers at Risk, when mothers work full-time during their children's preschool years, the children perform less effectively. In addition, these children later find themselves unemployed 9% more often than those at stay-at-home mothers. The numerous disadvantages of a stay-at-home mom is that your children tend to get extremely attached to you. While in some cases this is not a bad thing, because when your 3-year-old child screams out because you're leaving them with daddy to run to the store, it tends to be frustrating. Another disadvantage you may have is your children have problems interacting with others, that is, if you don't have more than one child. Another disadvantage of being a stay-at-home mom includes your sanity. You may find yourself lacking adult company when the only person you talk to all day is a toddler. It can be difficult to switch to adult mode. The hardest thing to do is to put your career on hold. This is not always viewed as a disadvantage, but it's definitely not an easy thing to do. Even though there are many benefits of both child care situations, there are drawbacks as well. Children who attend daycare often catch more colds and illnesses due to being exposed to more germs than stay-at-home children. Daycare children may also have to spend more hours away from home, which can be tiring and frustrating. There are disadvantages to a stay-at-home mom parenting as well. Children may not learn the social skills their daycare peers achieve at an early age. Their children may not mature as fast either. Parents who stay at home all the time can also find it difficult at times. Parents who spend 24 hours a day caring for children often become fatigued and feel socially isolated from other adults. I have been able to be a stay-at-home mom and also a working mom. After looking at all the advantages and disadvantages, I understand both of them. I was only able to stay at home with my middle son after he was born. So I have a closer bond to him, so I was able to watch him grow and to nurture. Um, but with my older son and my daughter, I was not able to stay at home with them after they were born. So I felt like I was not able to be there to nurture them and to bond with them as I did my middle son. I felt like doing this was a shortage because I didn't get to spend that one-on-one time with them to be able to bond them, to nurture them. And by working in the working force, also I was not able to read to them as much as I would like to, or help them learn their alphabet, or just to be able to be with them. So that was kind of hard for me. So as being a stay-at-home mom and also a working home mom, I have noticed the advantages and disadvantages in all three of my children. They are all social, though. Even though my middle son, he is very social, I was able to stay at home with him, but he is still social, and he got back into, or was into, the child care setting eventually, but not till a later time. So like I say, there is definitely advantages and disadvantages to being a stay-at-home mom. So I really hope you enjoyed this piece and was able to relate to some of it. Thanks.